कामविकार शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारः ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः यौवनगर्वं हरति निमेषात् कालः सर्वं मायामयमिदमखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा दिनयामिन्यो सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ कुत आयातः कालः क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशावायुः। नेक्स्ट ते कान्ता धनगतचिन्ता वातुल किं तव नास्ति नियन्तः त्रिजगति सज्जनः त्रिजगति सज्जति सङ्गत्येकः भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौकः द्वा जटिलो मुण्डीलुञ्छितकेशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेषः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढः उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः गलितं पलितं मुण्डं दशनविहीनं जातं तुण्डं वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापिण्डम् वह्नि पृष्ठे भानुरात्रौ चुबुकसमर्पितजानुः भिक्षस्तरुतलवासः न मुञ्चत्याशापाशः गङ्गासागरगमनं व्रतपलिपालनमथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीनः सर्वतीना भुक्तिं भजति जन्मशतेन। निरतरुमूलनिवासः शय्याभूतलमजिनं वासः ग्रहभोगत्यागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः वा भोगरतो वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दत्येव। गीता किञ्चिदधीता गंगा जललवपकापीता तपीयेन मुरारिसमर्चा क्रियते तस्य यमेन न चर्चा। पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे। रथ्याचर्पटविरचितकन्थः पुण्या पुण्यविवर्जितपन्तः योगी योगनियोजितचित्तं रमते बालोन्मत्तवदेव। कस्त्वं कोऽहं कुत आयातः कामे जननी को मे तातः इति परिभावय सर्वमसारं विश्वं त्यक्त्वा स्वप्नविचारं। त्वयि मयि चान्यत्रैको विष्णुः कुप्यसि मय्यसहिष्णुः भवसमचित्तः सर्वत्र त्वं वाञ्छस्याचिरयाद्विष्णुत्वं। शत्रौ मित्रे पुत्रे बन्धो मा कुरु यत्नं विग्रहसन्धौ विभूष्यात्मानं सर्वस्त्रोज्जभेदाज्ञानं। क्रोधं लोभं मोहं त्यक्त्वा जीवं पश्यति सोऽहम् आत्मविहीन आत्मज्ञानविहीना मूढा ते पच्यन्ते नरकनिगूढा गेयं गीता नाम सहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपतिरूपमजस्रं ज्ञेयं सज्जनसङ्गे चित्तं देयं दीनजनाय च वित्तं सुखतः क्रियते रामा भोगः पश्चादन्तशरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम् अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति ततः सुखलेशः सत्यं पुत्रादपि धनभाजां भीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता प्राणायामं प्रत्याहारं नित्यानित्यविवेकविचारं जाप्यसमेधसमाधिविधानं कुर्ववधानं महदवधानं गुरुचरणाम्बुजनिर्भरभक्तः सारादचिराद्भवमुक्तः सेन्द्रियमानसनियमादेवं द्रक्ष्यसि निजहृदयस्थं देवं मूढः कश्चन वैयाकरणो दुग्गृह्करणाध्यानधुरीणः श्रीमच्छङ्करभगवच्छिष्यै बोधित आसीच्छोदितकरणः भज गोविन्दं 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 भज मूढमते नामस्मरणादन्यमुपायः नहि पश्यामो भवतरणे नहि पश्यामो भवतरणे. So last time we completed Bhaja Govindam, Mohamudgaraha. Totally about, if you leave the first one and the last one, about 30 shlokas, out of which Acharya has written about 11 to 12 shlokas and balance are written by others. And very clearly the focus is to pound this binding and bondage which leads to delusion and slowly debond ourselves. तो जो फेविक्विक हम लगा के बैठे थ्रू आउट आवर बॉडी, थ्रू आउट आवर माइंड, दैट फेविक्विक जो जैसे ही एक चीज़ बाजू में आए तो उसके साथ चिपक जाएगा, उसे छोड़ेगा नहीं. दिस बॉन्डेज हैज़ टू बी ब्रोकन विथ अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, वो ओखल बोलते ना, मुद्गरहा. एंड विद दैट आचार्य ट्राइस. इसके बाद भी अगर किसी को समझ में नहीं आए, द ओनली ऑप्शन आचार्य हैज़ इज टू प्रे फॉर देम. वन डे लेट गुड सेंस प्रिवेल. At least if you value what is said, you will think about it. Once you think about it, you will know what is the real problem in life. Once you know the real problem in life, once the diagnosis is over, then you will have to work with the medication. Okay, this is more to get the diagnosis of the problem in life, which very nicely we sit and in a fool's paradise we believe that we have no problem. सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है. कैसा है? सब कुछ ठीक है. We are very fine. Very क्या बच्चे लोग सब ठीक है. Everyone very fine. I am very happy about it. And that happiness is the biggest problem. Right? So the problem very clearly is to diagnose this problem, because without knowing it, we will be binding ourselves. Very clearly, once we bind ourselves, then फेविकॉल का मजबूत जोड़ है, वो उतना जल्दी निकलने वाला नहीं है. Even if you die, your सूक्ष्म शरीर will continue to take that. You will continue janmas after janmas. Don't worry. Okay, so this is how it impacts. And just to know, see, many of us, we feel we are perfectly okay. Then one day someone decides that let us go. There are so many schemes happening in many of these clinics and hospitals. A complete body test. So you go there. So I have no problem, but I still go there. And there are 100 parameters which are checked, for which I pay about 8,000, 10,000 rupees. And the outcome of it is what? Something will come out which is not normal. I was ignorant about it. I felt I am perfectly okay. Now, because that report told something is wrong, ho gaya. Everything now starts changing. Correct? So now I have to find out that I have a problem. If I don't find out I have a problem, I have a problem with myself now. So I have to impose a problem on me. Then I have to go to the doctor. Correct? Then only the problem will get solved. So, not available problem to me, unmanifested problem in my Dehatma, in my Sthula Sharira, gets manifested through my Sukshma Sharira, because I see that some of the parameters are not proper, and that parameters are only results and they are not the cause. So the doctor will now go to find out the cause, and when he tries to find out the cause, he will find out more than one cause. So then you will have to go to 2 specialists, and then medicine, and then side reaction, and then so it's on. So where did it start from? Everything was fine. One day I thought, let me go and do a checkup. Why? Why did I go for a checkup? Because a scheme came in paper, 50% off for senior citizen. And they know senior citizens are the most softest target. Why? 100% you will get at least couple of problems which are there. Bakra ko jaal mein fasane ke liye pakka. One of the very good doctors told me what, till the age of 60, 65, you should do this test. After 65, you should never go to do the test unless you have a problem. If you face a problem, then you go to test. Because after the 60, 65, things are going to deteriorate. Something or the other will not work properly. And if you go, then you are stuck into it. Why? I was ignorantly blissful. Here you have to be ignorantly blissful. But what are we doing? In Atma Jnanam, we are ignorantly blissful. That is called Mohaha. And here we are very, very knowledgeable about Anatma Jnanam, which we know we have to throw it one day. That is Mohaha. So, replacement of wrong knowledge with right knowledge. Replacement of wrong outlook with right outlook is what Acharya wants to give by sharing this Moha Mudgaraha. Okay, good. Any questions on Moha Mudgara or Bhagavad Gita? Otherwise, we will move to the next text, which is called Sadhana Panchakam. If there are any questions, ask me right now. Okay. Doesn't seem to be that there are questions. You all are Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikaris. You all know very clearly what is Nitya Nitya Vastu. You have that Vivekaha. You have already started getting Vairagyaha. Slowly Samadhi Shatka Sampatti has started coming, and Mumukshutvam seed is very, very started strongly in you all. So, perfectly Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikaris. You all have already gone into that path. You are no more in crossroad, whether to go this side or that side. You are focused. But you can go in your own speed because you have chosen the road. So, perfectly okay. And now if you have chosen the road based on what we have learned till now in Tattva Bodha, in Bhagavad Gita, and then in very clearly going very strongly by the Acharya that leave that road, catch the right road. Leave the wrong road, catch the right road. And now you have made up your mind that I will try to be more on the right road. That wrong road will not leave so fast, but I will put effort to leave it. Correct? Then the Acharya comes to tell us, now you have got the right road. Now I will tell you what you have to do. Only once you take that turning in that Sheel Fata, then it will tell after 15 kilometers you will get this milestone. then that milestone will come, then that milestone will come. So keep going, keep going. So like that you need someone who has to take you and direct you. But first you have to turn to the right road, and the turning of right road has happened. Now he is going to take you through one by one milestones by which you will reach the right destination of your choice, and that is given in Sadhana Panchakam. So Sadhana Panchakam are sadhanas, various sadhanas, which is given by Adi Shankaracharya in 5 shlokas. Panchakam means 5 shlokas. So 5 shlokas are going to be given as the tools. Now you can't use, once we say this toolkit, it is a very dangerous thing. When we say a toolkit, it is a dangerous thing, because you will have everything in the toolkit. You will have pliers, screwdriver, everything, whatever you want you can use. But you should know when to use what and where. If you don't know, wherever you need a spanner, if you take a screwdriver, it will not work. So it is not a toolkit or a toolbox. It is a guided schedule and a plan, so that you start going sequentially in the right way. You have to wash your hand, then sit, then eat, then again wash your hand and wash your mouth, and then the plate. Then only that sequence is right. Suppose if I say no, I will eat first, then I will do the first washing. Or before eating also I will not wash the plate, after eating also I will not wash the plate, because I don't like washing of plates. No, all that is not acceptable. So it is not a toolkit given, but because you know various sadhanas, you can utilize this sadhanas. That choice of certain sadhanas within the framework is allowed for you based on your nature, but the sequence of what to go when is very clearly mentioned in Sadhana Panchakam. Now who is the author of Sadhana Panchakam? Adi Shankara. And when did Adi Shankara give this? Normally when things starts becoming very, very concise and precise and simple, you have to understand that that person is completely matured with it. Only a person who is matured can make it very, very simple and give it to you in a way which you will understand. So after writing Viveka Chudamani, which is more than 500 shlokas, if that sum and substance have to be written in 5 shlokas in Sadhana Panchakam, you have to understand how much maturity would have come, and how much jnana nishtha would have happened, how much of practical experience of these sadhanas would have happened, how many students you would have guided by now, and then probably before his end, when someone asks, just give us some tips. Normally people will go and say, please give us some tips. He said, okay, I will give you 5 tips, and they are the 5 shlokas. But that 5 shlokas will encompass everything what is told in the whole Vedanta and the sadhanas required for Vedanta, without touching the topic of Vedanta. Here we are talking of sadhanas. Here we are not talking about the objective or the goal, the siddha vastu. We are not touching Atma at all. We know the goal is Atma, the goal is Atma Jnanam. What are the sadhanas required? Okay. Like when you go on the road and after taking a turn, every milestone is only going to say 15 kilometers this place, 10 kilometers this place. The milestone is not going to explain what is there in that place. Same way, Sadhana Panchakam is not going to explain Atma Jnanam at all. It is going to explain how to properly, for any person, use that to go ahead. Okay. Having said that, now let us look at few things. For whom it is said. We have to be very clear for whom it is said. Is it said for everyone? Anyone who wants?
Oh.
So is it said for getting Chitta Shuddhi, or is it said for people who have already got Chitta Shuddhi? Is it for a person who does not even know what Chitta Shuddhi is? Or is it for a person who knows something about Chitta Shuddhi?
who's got Chitta Shuddhi.
If he has got Chitta Shuddhi, he doesn't need any of these sadhanas. Because what he needs is Jnanam now. Okay. So it is not for a completely novice person who does not know anything. Neither it is for a person who knows everything, a Siddha Purusha, nor it is for a person who has already entered, got the sadhana chaturthyam and entered the jnana yoga properly. No, it is for someone who has actually taken a turning in a path that, okay, I know where to go, but I am not sure how to go. What I need is a guidance. I need someone to bear a torch showing that, हाँ इतना दूर पे ये दिख सकता है, ये दिख सकता है, देखो, ऐसा देखो. So it is for a mumukshu who wants this goal, who is ready to put effort, but requires a certain guidance, how to put effort, in what sequence to put effort, what to do first, what to do next, and slowly how to progress towards the goal. Okay, but if a person has not decided that this is my goal, it is not for that person. So don't take Sadhana Panchakam and start telling to people who do not know anything about Vedanta or even Tattva Bodha, no, I will teach you Sadhana Panchakam. It is an absolute waste. No. Sadhana Panchakam will come because it requires certain Shraddha on couple of things. Only when that firm conviction is there that this goal is the right goal, for that the Shastras have to help me, for that I need a guru. When all these basics are already established and that is never challenged in your mind, then only all this will work, because you will put an effort only when you have a certain amount of conviction and trust, not a blind faith, that what this person is saying is for my benefit. The medication given by a doctor will work only to a person who has diagnosed the problem and wants a solution for it and comes to the doctor. If the doctor goes with free prescription standing near Hiranandani hospital outside, I have a flyer with me, come on, free prescription for everyone. Catch everyone and ask, do you have a problem? Take the prescription. It won't work. That means it will work for people who enter Hiranandani hospital saying that I have a problem, I need to meet a doctor. Like Arjuna in the 7th chapter, correct? In the 7th shloka of the 2nd chapter, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. I don't understand, oh doctor, I have a problem in life. Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme. You tell me what is good for me. How can I come back to my proper health? And I am ready to submit and follow it completely with full faith. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Without that, this sadhana panchakam will not work. It is expected, and I am making it absolutely clear, it is expected that you have complete faith in the Shastras, that it will do good for me. As you have faith in your mother, that mother will never do bad for me. Even if the mother gives me a kada, it is only for my good. I may not like the kada, I may even curse the mother at that time. Why are you giving me? As children, we have always shouted at our parents. But still today you know that it was for my good she has given, and hence the Shastras and the Guru will always do it for that. How much ever that little brain as the child never understands the importance of it. Right? And exactly like that, in the Shastric knowledge, we are like children, and with our small brains, we will never understand why this is told. And if we sit challenging this, then it only means one thing. I am challenging the place where I am standing. You can't be pulling the carpet on which you are standing. You will fall. So if you have no faith on it, get out of that carpet, stand on some other carpet. But never try to pull the carpet on which you are standing. Because only you will fall, nothing will happen to the carpet. So nothing will happen to Shastras, nothing will happen to Adi Shankara, nothing will happen to any of the things. But your head will break if you fall down. So very clearly Sadhana Panchakam is for people who will implicitly accept that these sadhanas are required for going ahead if my objective is Atma Vidya. If your objective is not Atma Vidya, if I want a feel good factor of hearing something nice, then you should simply hear it and you should simply take selectively things which you feel is good. Try to do it. Don't expect a outcome coming out of it, because now the requirement is feel good factor, not achieving goal. And people who are going to stand on this challenging everything are pulling the blanket below the leg. You will fall. Better than that is come out and go to the blanket where you have a faith. Okay, because we have to understand that if Adi Shankara is writing this at that age, after knowing it, experiencing it, seeing others, there is a good amount of that experience which is coming in this, right? And he is telling to a person who is asking with a complete implicit faith that he needs a solution. There is no scope for challenging. Is not there other way? Are you sure whether this will give? It is like going to a doctor and asking these questions. Then the blessed thing is, why did you go to that doctor? If you knew the answer, you should not have gone to that doctor. Okay. Having gone to the doctor, you have only one option: implicit faith, submission, following it up, checking it, and if you don't achieve the required result, then come back to the doctor and ask that you said this, I did this, it didn't work. Then it's a separate. But without even doing anything, sitting outside, it is like saying that standing outside and teaching someone how to swim. The person has never entered the water, but you stand outside and teach someone how to swim. No scope for that. Okay. So I'm very making it absolutely clear for this class deliberately, because I know such questions will come in this particular piece of work. And if such a question comes, I will only give a hint that don't pull the blanket below your leg. You have a choice to go outside the blanket. Don't stand on it and pull that. Will it really give this? Is it practical today? Adi Shankara does not know all that today what you are going to do. He has given it at that time what was the prevailing situation and what was the way how everything was working, and it was perfectly working for that. If you feel it will work for you today, use it. If you feel it will not work, forget it. But the last thing which is expected is, don't try to comment about it because you do not know about it. You have only one choice: to learn and accept, otherwise leave it. But we can't challenge it and comment it, because there are few things which will come which may not be, we may feel practically not possible. There are people still who are doing it. So even if one person can do it, you have decided yourself to be an exclusion. If one spider can do it, like that my one Brahman can be there, and if one person can do it in this Jagat at this time, if you can't do it, then you have chosen to be out. Do we understand it? So let's take it up in the right way, with the right temperament, with the right thought process, and then only we will benefit out of it. Otherwise, if we challenge it, we'll have a problem. Okay? And I will not at all allow anyone to challenge it. Otherwise, our learning will go wrong. And if someone is going to ask me to justify it, I will say this is what the Shastras have told, and I have got implicit faith on the Shastras. That is the answer. Suppose if the parents are saying, don't touch this, you will hurt yourself. No, will I really hurt? Okay, touch it and see. What is the answer? So don't ask me to justify what is told in Sadhana Panchakam. What is Sadhana Panchakam is what we will see. If it is applicable for you, you take it. If it is not applicable, leave it. Correct? We have to be a little matured in looking at these, because they are very generalized ones. And case to case, there will be a lot of variation. So stand and look at it as a helicopter view. Appreciate why it is told. and see how much it can be implemented by en masse people. For that it is told. Okay. Having said that, now let me get into a little more specifics. Sadhana Panchakam is very clearly told for a grihastha and a sannyasi. Sadhana Panchakam is not for a brahmachari. He should complete his brahmacharya ashram, and then practically the effect of it is looked only in grihastha ashrama and sannyasa ashrama, or even you can include vanaprastha. Vanaprastha is just a mix of these two, that is okay, right? Normally, now I have to bring few things in place and in perspective, because only then it makes sense. Normally it is told for Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya. I am adding some of these things. This is not implicitly told by Acharyas, but I am adding it because I can expect questions coming out. So which means that if you are going to look at text like this, you will have to accept Varnashrama system. If you say I don't accept Varnashrama system, then please don't even accept the text. It will not work. It will not work, because we are talking of an infrastructure which was very much prevalent at that time, and people used to implicitly, like for example today going to office is implicitly followed by most of us, working 9 to 5 or whatever, going to office, doing your dhanda, whatever is being implicitly followed, right? So there is no book which says that no, from this age to this age you have to work or you have to do business. Or exactly like that, people used to follow the Dharma Shastras, the Shastras at that time. They used to complete learning of the Vedas. The 3 Varnas used to complete the learning of the Vedas in Brahmacharya Ashram, then Grihastha Ashram, Vanaprastha. All these used to be there. So it is for a system who used to implement that and be into that system. We are like sitting outside the swimming pool and trying to gauge the water in the swimming pool without going in. So enter into it and then talk about it. Otherwise, अच्छा है स्टोरी बोल के सुनो, कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट हो सकता है तो करो. Am I giving the right perspective of, because I don't want people to get wavered later on, अरे ऐसा बोला है तो it is not practical today. No, it is for you to decide whether it is practical or not. If it is absolutely wrong and incorrect, then you can say. And I don't think at any point of time any of these things can be absolutely wrong. I decide to put myself into a particular box and say that okay, I cannot do it because my boundaries are here. But your boundaries are not to be applied to the overall system. Don't superimpose your boundaries. Come out of your boundary. That is what this text wants you to do. Try to look and challenge your boundaries and say, can I get a little more into that system if I want my goal to be Atma Jnana? You should have very clear goal. If that road mein turn nahi hua hai na, so many questions will come. But ek baar wo turn ho gaya, then many of these questions which used to be earlier there before taking a turn in the road has already gone. Suppose you are driving and you have decided to go right and you have taken a right, then where is the question of asking, should I have gone left, should I go back? No, you have already taken a turn. But before getting into that fork, so many questions are there. So Sadhana Panchakam is for people who have taken a turn, not for people who are going to decide whether I will take a turn or not. Let's be clear. So if I have not decided whether I will take a turn, then don't even ask questions. It is no meaning. Because that time your Shraddha will be challenged. Any question coming which is going to show that my Shraddha is lower is going to be absolutely pointed straight. Because Sadhana Panchakam is about that. It is for getting that Nishtha. To make a proper firm footing so that we go towards that path very, very properly with conviction and cannot go with waywardness. Getting it? Little serious business. Okay, chalo. Like this the Upanishads will not say. Huh? That is the beauty of it. Upanishads will never say that. They will give injunction statement. But Sadhana Panchakam is very clearly converted that to this is the only thing you have to do. Good. Now to get into Sadhana Panchakam, let me first open and see how to go about it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I will take you through quickly what we have discussed. Okay. Now there are 4 different names for this scripture. It is also known by 4 different names. One, it is called Sadhana Panchakam. Second, it is called Advaita Panchakam. Third, it is called Sopana Panchakam. And fourth, it is called Upadesha Panchakam. So 4 different names are known: Sadhana Panchakam, Advaita Panchakam, Sopana Panchakam, and Upadesha Panchakam. All the 4 mean the same text. Sadhana is whatever you are going to do, the practices with the right attitude, with the right values, consistently and regularly for a period of time to achieve a particular goal is called sadhana under the able guidance of a proper guru. That is a sadhana. Advaita Panchakam, why it is called? Because it is dealing with Advaita teaching. It is not for Dvaita, it is not for Vishishta Advaita, it is for Advaita. So the object of that particular sadhanas are to come to Atma Jnanam, which is Advaita Atma Jnanam, Abheda Atma Jnanam. Okay, so it is called Advaita Panchakam. Then Sopana Panchakam means, Sopana means it is step by step instructions to reach a goal. That means a sequential, step by step, holding hand. भैया अब ये करो, फिर इसके बाद अभी ये करो. Now have you completed this? Now do this. So slowly taking you, mentoring you through that process. That is called Sopana Panchakam. And last one is Upadesha Panchakam. That is giving you a set of instructions. Okay, giving you advice. Upadesha Panchakam. If you call it Upadesha Panchakam, you have a choice whether to do it or not do it. If you call it Sopana Panchakam, you will do it. If you call it Advaita Panchakam, you will know for what you are doing it. And if you call it Sadhana Panchakam, again you can stand out and say there are so many sadhanas, it may be for me, it may not be for me. So in each of the 4 words you will use your own mental state and your value towards it will be very clear. It gives a choice. You can decide what you want, how close you want to be, how much close to your heart, or how much chalo generally chalta hai, it's a good knowledge, ye bhi seekh lege. It is up to you. Clear? Chalo. Then in this 5 shlokas, 2 things have been told. There are only 2 things which have been told. And the first thing is, what is the goal of human life? What is the goal of human life? And to achieve that goal, that means you have to diagnose your problem. So the first few, very specific, the first 2 shlokas are for diagnosis of my problem. And once I diagnose my problem, then the 3rd shloka is solution for it. Right? And then the next 2 shlokas are just justifying a lot of things into it. So the first 2 are for diagnosis, the 3rd one is the solution of my problem, And the fourth and fifth are giving you a more affirmation why you need to do it. Okay, like chemistry mein you say na, what is this salt? So I do few tests. Then once I get it, then I do a confirmatory test. Correct? So the first two are elimination. ये सब नहीं चाहिए, ये सब नहीं, ये group नहीं, ये group नहीं है. Then the third one is actually finding out what is that particular group. The fifth and the next two steps are confirmation of what I found out is correct. So it is going the same way. That is how these 5 Panchakams are there. Okay. Very clearly, I do not know, I can see a lot of people who are students who have been there for more than 1.5 years and all, who have learnt the Bhagavad Gita with me, who have learnt Tattvabodha with me. But still there could be some people who are new. For the benefit of all, I would still want to touch upon the 2 important vyavasthas on which the complete Shastras were dependent on. Not just Advaita or anything. Whole our Hindu Shastra, Sanatana Dharma, to run it. जैसा हम बोलते हैं कि गाड़ी को चलाने के लिए 2 पहिए की ज़रूरत है. You need 2 rails or 2 wheels, and if both are running properly, it will go. अगर बैलगाड़ी बोले तो 2 बैल की ज़रूरत है. Whatever it is, one will not be stable. You need 2, and that vyavastha, that infrastructure is called ashrama and varna vyavastha. Ashrama vyavastha, quickly we will see: brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashrama, and sannyasa ashrama. Ashrama, the word, so I'll be quickly going into it, not into details. Ashrama, the word means a temporary place to be there, achieve your goal and move ahead. Like every class in your school, 5th standard, what is the goal? To attend all the classes, write the exam, pass, and go to 6th standard. That is the objective of 5th standard. Not to always sit there and say, I liked it, I want to be there. No. So every ashrama is for a particular purpose. It has a goal. Then it has certain activities to be done. By doing the activities, you will achieve a particular goal. Once the goal is achieved, you will move out of the ashrama to the next ashrama. So it's not a permanent place. It is a temporary place. Ashrama itself is a temporary place. Okay. Does it have a sequence? Yes. You can't say from sannyasa ashrama I will come to brahmacharya ashrama and then I will go to vanaprastha and then come to grihastha. No. So it is connected directly with your age. And today we are still using it, but we don't call it with these names. So during our childhood, up to teenagers, say up to 20, 25, whatever, you study. And this studentship period is called brahmacharya ashram. Then you get married. Life of a householder is grihastha ashrama. Then when you complete a certain amount of duties, what you are supposed to do there, that is a time for sitting back and thinking, reviewing, a review mechanism of what have I learnt, how have I practiced it, did I achieve my goal, where were the flaws, what went well, what could have been done better. So taking a stock of situation and understanding, and then, oh, did I miss out till now the main goal of life, which is mumukshutvam, because throughout in my grihastha ashrama I did not have time for any of that. Correct? That clearly is told in Shivaparada Stotram. Balye dukkhadireko malalulitavapustanyapane pipasa no shaktyashendriyebhyo bhavaguna janitaha tavo mam tudanti nana rogadi dukkhat dana dogadi dukkha dudavana paravashaha शङ्करन्न स्मरामि क्षन्तव्यो मे पराध शिव 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 भो Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Then I became a youth. What happened? Praudoham yauvanasto vishaya vishadanaihi marmabir Praudoham yauvanasto vishaya vishadanaihi panchabir marmasantau dashto nashto vivekaha. I lost all my this intelligence. Suta dhana yuvati swadu saukhe vishannaha shaivi chinta vihinam mama hridaya maho mana garva virudham kshantavyo me parada shiva 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 bho Shri Mahadeva Shambho. After that what happened? अब मैं बिल्कुल बूढ़ा हूँ, गोली खाकर जीता हूँ. करेक्ट, सेम थिंग, एड इज द सेम. जब मैं छोटा लड़का था क्या रंगीन जवानी थी वी सौ. अब मैं बिल्कुल बूढ़ा हूँ. इसके लिए वार्धक्ये चेन्द्रियाणाम विगत गलित मन आदि दैवादि तापैः पापैर रोगैः वियोगैः. You understand? All this starts coming. Praudhinam jabhinam mithya moha nana rogadi dukkha dudavan paravashah shankaranna smarami kshantavyo me parada shiva 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 bho Shri Mahadeva Shambho. So I did not, in all this I was so busy with my Dehatma Buddhi, I forgot that there is one Shankara. I forgot this Atma Jnana. Completely I forgot. I was so busy. Please pardon me for that. So the complete Shiva Parada Kshamapana Stotram is just telling that how we get stuck very nicely to the ashramas, doing our duty, and in the name of duty we have forgotten who has asked us to do this duty. Okay. The idea of an ashrama is not getting bound to it but coming out, and we end up being highly bound to it. Okay. Why? Because none of the time we focused on Shiva 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 Bho Shri Mahadeva Shambho. We never submitted and did our duty with submission. We always did that duty with a lot of expectation which is binding. Okay. And to remove this binding, we already have done Moha Mudgara. And now Sadhana Panchakam. See how logically it is going. Very clearly, the path is absolutely clear. I was thinking, why did Swamiji ask me to take Sadhana Panchakam when I requested him that I will take Mundaka Upanishad? He said, no, you take Sadhana Panchakam. It's only when I started taking it, I am able to connect. Why did he tell me taking that? This is the vision of Acharyas. When they think about it, they are very clear. We never understand it unless we go through it. वो पानी का अंदर घुसने के बाद हाँ स्विमिंग क्यों ऐसा करना है. This is that पद्धति of teaching, that proper पद्धति of going sequentially and unfolding it. It becomes very clear. Good. I am very thankful to him. Now, when we complete this ashrama, we are today into the ashrama without knowing what the goal is. Please understand. What is ruling our life? Our life is ruled by just the age. And based on the age, certain changes happen in our body. And based on that, for us, what is the Bible? What is that? You have the freedom to do what you want. And in the name of my personal freedom, I do not know what is discipline. I do not know what is discipline. And a mind which has not got any discipline is a useless mind. It's absolutely a useless mind. It is like a land which is absolutely infertile. कितना भी उसमें बीज डालेंगे, ज्ञान का बीज डालेंगे, वो कभी भी फल नहीं देगा. So a farmer uses maximum time to prepare the land. Same way we have to do many sadhanas to prepare our mind, culture it, discipline it, and for which the 4 ashramas are there. And today we have no idea because we do not follow any of the ashrama dharma, and we become completely, as we call, I want to be a free bird. I want to be a free bird. Are you a free bird, or are you actually got caged without seeing the cage which is pulling you to all your bondages which you have done in the name of freedom? Our Shastras say that you are born and you are bound, which is natural, and you need to learn how to get free. And our current society says that don't consider you to be bound. You have to always be free. And in that being free, we actually end up getting bound. Right? We have to think. 2 choices are always there in front of us. What we should select. The choice is in us. If you want to go by what Shastras say, then you will have to follow that. Otherwise, you have to follow the other one. But doing a masala of both will land you into a bigger trouble. Will only land, because if our brains were that good, a simple point, if we were so intelligent, we need not require a Shastra. We need not require a Vedas. Right? Question is, do we have less intelligence? Answer is no. Because we have been born as human being, our intelligence is one of the most matured and cultivated intelligence. But the problem is it is not cultured intelligence. Animals have less intelligence. They have an intellect, but they are very, very cultured in what they are supposed to do. Human beings, because we have the freedom to use the intellect, we do not know how to use it properly, and hence we need a Shastra to culture it. एक अंकुश लगाना बहुत ज़रूरी है, नहीं तो वो मन भागते रहेगा, जिधर मन तय भागते रहेगा. If you are so what, no problem, jnanam will not come. It is not that you are useless to be alive in this world. No, 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 no. There are only very few people who come to the Shastras. Correct? Not everyone gets into IIT, right? Out of 7 billion people, only few lakhs go to IIT every year. Not, the rest don't go. All the students don't go. Same way, as Bhagavad Gita says in chapter 9, Kaschin Mam, there are very few people, Yatatam api siddhanam. Among 100, 90% of the people will not even come near the Shastras. By mistake, if the 10 come also, 3-4 will actually hold on to it, and maybe one of them will really become the best in it. So it is not expected also. But if you have chosen to be in that 10, and if you want to become that one, that's your choice. And for those people who want that, Sadhana Panchakam is there. Correct? I am taking lot of time to re-emphasize back and forth the same thing, because when we start talking about it, you will see that, oh my God, this is totally something new. I cannot even do anything of it. Yeah, but then that is what the instruction is. That is what the instruction is. I cannot change the instruction, right? I will go with the text, and the text means that. And that's a time-tested way. So you have an option to try something else and keep failing, or drop everything, follow this. Are we clear? Okay. So this is, first we saw the ashrama dharma. Fairly clear. We are all experiencing it with different age. Our priorities are different. Our maturity is different. Our likings are different. Many things are different. And we are, as per that age, if we behave like a different age, you are actually an odd one out. It is very clearly visible, right? But if you live that age properly, everyone respects you, and you also like that. The only thing is, in all these, unknowingly we are bound. 3 things are given to you freely. Well, now with one marriage, how many in-laws come? 3 in-laws will come. Bandhakatvam, atriptikaratvam, dukkha mishritatvam. So 3 in-laws are with me always. I get married to 1, 3 in-laws minimum. उसके साथ बाकी और भी जितना आएगा आने दो, फ्री है. Shastra says that without getting stuck to these 3, you can still be as a part of the ashrama, and that is what is being expected to do. If you do it properly, the way it is being administered to you, if I take the medicine the way it is administered, it will give me the effect. But if I take the antibiotic so as what I like to do whenever I want, sometimes in 15 hours, sometimes in 4 hours, then don't say that the antibiotic doesn't work. Then there is a problem in me, not with the microbe or not with the antibiotic. Okay, so the sadhana means you have to have the discipline to do it, then only it will go ahead. Okay, then who all can do it? Very clearly it is for the first 3 varnas. Let's be clear here. As we said, it is mainly focused at grihastha and sannyasa. Then you will have a logical question. You mean to say that brahmachari and vanaprastha cannot do? Yes, they can do. But it is focused on these people. If they sitting in that ashrama feel that it is meaningful for them, surely they can do. A brahmachari who has made up his mind that who will become sannyasa directly into nivritti marga can 100% consider this, because anyway it is going to help him. Like a child in 8th standard can think of 11, 12 IIT, JEE related questions if they have decided that they want to go to IIT. It is that way. But when
The bandwidth is very low.
connectivity is it's dropped.
Bandwidth is very low.
Okay. Chalo. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedais Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Is the connectivity better? So you know what to do. When problem is there, leave the problem which you cannot solve and take God's name. Automatically things will solve. Don't try to fight it. Okay. So what did I do? I moved on to my hotspot. Hopefully better connection will be there. Chalo, let us continue. Okay. So we were mentioning about the ashrama system, and from ashrama system we came to the varna system. And in varna system we said that it is for a brahmana, kshatriya and a vaishya, not for a shudra. And this does not mean that shudras cannot get moksha. Absolutely wrong. Shudras can get moksha, but for them this sadhana panchakam, that route is not available and not applicable. Okay, because this is written considering the dvijas who are in a particular way of life, in a particular structure, in a particular studies, in a certain protocol. So they are using those, and hence you can use the same tool what they are using to get Atma Vidya properly, right? And that is why the Sadhana Panchakam is focused on these three varnas. Now the question will come, why not Shudra? Because very clearly the Shudras were not studying on those days, going to a Gurukula. Why Shudras will not study is something, a matter related to our Dharma Shastras, related to Manusmriti, which we will not touch. But if you are now accepting the Shastra, you will have to accept Shudras did not study and do not have this knowledge of the Vedas, and this is related to the Shastric knowledge and the Vedic knowledge, and hence Shudras are absolved from that. Are we able to get that? So it is just an eliminating process. It is like saying that people who have interest in biology will only give medical entrance test. Person who wants to do law will not attempt a medical entrance test. A person who wants to become a chartered accountant will not give a medical entrance test, and even if the person gives, will miserably fail because he doesn't have the prerequisite basic knowledge. So we are not eliminating someone, but we are segregating so that the right adhikaris will only come. Adhikaritvam is there in the world for everything. For Laukika Vidya also adhikaritvam, eligibility is there. So Vaidika Vidya also adhikaritvam is there. Like who can learn the Vedas? For whom the Upanayana Samskara is done. That adhikaritvam is there. Because we want to flout it today, we can't say ladies can be learning Vedas. No. Okay. Understand what's the right. Understand what are we going to give something as a concession, and understand where we are breaking the rule. You can very well break the rule, but you have to be aware that you have broken the rule. Clear? So, very clearly, Adhikaritvam was only there for people who did Upanayana to learn the Vedas, and they were the three Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya and the Vaishya. All the three of them, Upanayana Samskara was done. All of them used to go to the Gurukula. All of them used to learn the basic Vedas, and then the Brahmana used to learn something more additional, in detail, in depth, with meaning, how to do the Karma Kanda and many other things, because that becomes his profession, that becomes his way of living, his livelihood, his contribution to the society. A Kshatriya, apart from the basic Vedas, will learn that professional subjects, either related to archery, administration, any other where you need to have the principles of security and principles of taking care of the society will come. So that is how they contribute back to the society. A Vaishya, apart from the basic Vedas, will learn commerce, farming and all the other things which are related to the needs of the society, and will contribute it for the growth of the society, and thereby a personal growth also will happen. And a Shudra, very clearly, because he would not be in a position to do any of these things, will end up learning the sum and substance by serving these three. So when a person serves, you also learn a lot indirectly, and that learning is what will make a Shudra a better Janma in the next birth. Okay, but if that person who is so called a Shudra, and when we say Shudra, it is, we are all referring to, see, an implied meaning is there here. We are referring to Jati based, we are not referring to Guna based, because most prevalent during Shankara's time was already the Jati based. It was no more a Guna based. The Guna based is a theoretical one where you may not be able to implement it. Then finally you end up into a Jati based, and using that Jati, you are exposed to that particular profession, you are equipped for that profession, and then you become paripakwa in that profession, and then you serve the nation, serve the society using that profession. So it fits well, right? Now, so a Shudra's children will end up becoming people who will do paricharya in the same Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya family. So it was a paramparagat, are iska bachcha apna ghar pe, he will help. By that what happens? The bondage is there. By that, that child also grows. The child gets a much better culture, and surely in the next Janma, these children, after growing up old in the next Janma, will no more be a Shudra. The karma theory will move them, because they will be always doing Punya karma by doing Swadharma. Please understand this. Whenever we look at all this system, we are only looking at one aspect, which is called the Drishta Phalam. We are never considering Adrishta Phalam, which is absolutely wrong. Because the whole Varna system continuing in what they are supposed to do itself will give you a Adrishta Phalam called Punyam. Bhagavad Gita, if we believe that Bhagavad Gita is right, if we believe, and when we say Bhagavad Gita is right, then everything in that should be right. You cannot pick and choose. No, I feel this is right because pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. Okay, I felt it rationally. I accepted it. Now what I am going to do? Now in 10th chapter or 9th chapter, Bhagavan will say, Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmap swanushtitaha. No, that is not applicable now. You understand? So conveniently we change the base because we don't like it, and that is not available for us. If you do it, you will 100% get a papa just even thinking that I will try to do it. Think about it. Even thinking that I will use rational logic in the Shastra itself is a papa karma. Correct? Why that thought came? Tell me why did that thought come? We have to understand why we call it papa karma. Then you will be convinced. Why did that thought come?
Because you doubted it.
I felt it is different. That means my ahankara came. My ahankara did not allow me to submit to the Shastras. Papa karma. What more do you want? What you thought is secondary. Just that ahankara coming up, the Shastra is giving all this to subdue the ahankara. Why is the whole Sadhana Panchakam there? To subdue ahankara or to raise up the ahankara? So anything which I do counterproductive of that will be considered papa karma only. Are we able to get that? So make it simple. Go with that logic and then okay. Because then you are not changing the basics. The actual basics you are not supposed to change. Right? So a Shudra was not allowed. But moksha is there even for a Shudra. Now you will say, Are, how is this possible? Very much possible. Because again the Shastras tells that in many of the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, na vede, na yajne, na dane, api kriyacha, none of them is going to give you moksha. So what I learned the Vedas is not going to give me moksha. Then why should I learn it? If you learn it, the chances of you getting moksha is faster. Because you will understand at least what you are doing. For that you have to learn it. What you have to learn? That I will use a tool to learn. Understanding that tool is not going to give me moksha. I am doing karma with an understanding this karma will not give me moksha. I am doing upasana with an understanding that this upasana will not give me moksha. I am doing a knowledge, taking a knowledge because that knowledge will by itself is moksha. Where is it supposed to give moksha? It is like saying, I will become Rajesh one day. With this knowledge, I will become Rajesh one day. Isn't it a fooling statement? When I am already Rajesh, what do you need to tell the statement. So I am mukta. That is what the Shastras are saying, but it helps you to, no, it helps you to own it. Today I am not owning it. It helps you to own it. And for owning it up, these sadhanas are required. The sadhanas will help you to own it. Are you able to get that? Otherwise, all such steps are not at all required, I am telling you. The other philosophies will never talk of these steps. Here the problem is, what you want to learn is, you already know it. It's a question of ownership. And for ownership only, there are so many problems coming into it. Okay. Coming back to the original topic of Varna system, which is based on Jati and not Guna. So anyone who wants to be a Guna Brahmana, the freedom by Dharma Shastras are given to the teachers to do Upanayana Samskara to even a Shudra who has got that qualification, there are a lot of procedure for purification, all those things. If that person does everything, surely you can do Upanayana Samskara and teach that person, because that person's intrinsic will to learn will take him there. But they are exceptions, they cannot be rule. Okay, exceptions are always there with every rule. Keep the Varna system away. The point we have to know is, it is only available for Trivarnas and not for everyone. Correct? Because each of the word which is now told in that Sadhana Panchakam are technical words. Only if you have done some learning, you will know what to do. Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam, when you say chant the Vedas, from where will a Shudra do? That means without chanting Vedas, I will not get moksha. Answer is no. For people, that is why they say the traditional way, only a Brahmana can take sannyasa. See, very, very, when you look at it from a very barik nazariya se dekhiye, to they have made it perfect. A Kshatriya and a Vaishya cannot even take sannyasa ashrama. Cannot, not allowed by law. Only a Brahmana knows these systems and the knowledge, and at least the theoretical knowledge of Atmajnanam. That is why he can take sannyasa. The others even do not know the theoretical knowledge. Then without knowing what you want to achieve, if you have left everything, फिर धोबी का कुत्ता बनोगे, न घर का न घाट का, that will be a problem. So you are better off doing your swadharma and praying that in my next janma I should become a Brahmana, which will take me there. Think. So there is a lot of patience required in this. Don't consider कि भाई ये 4 lectures में हो जाने वाला है. No. Janmas and janmas will be required for such refinement. एक छोटा सा चोट पाँव में लगता है तो कितना दिन लगता है ठीक होने को? Does any miracle happen? तो यहाँ लगा हुआ चोट को कितना जन्म लगेगा? यहाँ लगा हुआ चोट को कितना जन्म लगेगा? Think. Correct? So you have to give that patience. You have to be very patiently doing it. And that patience is going to give calm of mind, which is called titiksha, forbearance. Required, na? No. Tomorrow only I want Atmajnanam. Then you will have to go to some Babaji who will touch your head and say, I transfer all my Atma knowledge to you. Over. Go. And you will also, as a fool's paradise, come out and say, no, I have got it. I got that light, I saw that light, I saw this thing, I saw that thing. Very good. Both are happy. He made money, you also lost money. Okay? We are not talking about that. We are talking what the Shastras are talking of. Owning up what you know. So you are not going to get anything new. Right. Chalo. After knowing these two basic Vyavastha system, and both the Vyavasthas, are they important or less important? Very clearly, the ashrama Vyavastha will help me to go with my mind inward. What is the path in ashrama Vyavastha? My mind will start going from brahmacharya to grahastha to vanaprastha to sannyasa more inward and get matured. My mind's path is going inward and then getting matured. Are we able to get this? Do you understand? Now what is required in the Varna system? My mind goes outside and gets matured irrespective of the setup. Think. My mind needs to go out, get matured. My mind needs to go in to get matured. The Varna system is going to take me out and irrespective of the setup get matured. The Ashrama system is helping my mind to go inward and getting matured. Think about it. If you understand, you have got a matured mind. For others, wait patiently. समझा नहीं समझा कुछ तो मुंडी हिलाओ. वेरी गुड. तो रुक जाओ. I will again tell you, mind requires two paths to get matured. Chitta Vishalata by going outward, for which the Varna system helps to mature irrespective of the setup. That means I will not get upset. The Ashrama system takes my mind inside for Chitta Naischalyata and Chitta Ekagrata, a calm and serene mind. The Ashrama system takes me inward. So I need Chitta Vishalata and Chitta Naischalyata. When both are there, my mind is matured. Are we able to get this? And only in such a mind, Jnanam will completely flourish. Preparing this mind for Chitta Naischalyata and Chitta Vishalata is the job of Sadhana Panchakam. I did not simply say this. Finally, it had to get connected to Sadhana Panchakam. So, all the sadhanas required for Chitta Vishalata and Chitta Naischalyata, Chitta Ekagrata are given in Sadhana Panchakam. Slowly we are getting into the technical meaning of what is Sadhana Panchakam. Who can do it? Who follow the Varnashrama system, it is for them. Who do not follow it, it is not for them. It's not knowledge, they have to follow. Dharmam Chara, no just dharma knowledge. So if you only implicitly follow it as Swadharma, then it is sense. Otherwise it is nonsense. Sorry, in some of these we have to be very, very cutthroat. Okay, in some of these topics, unless it is very crystal clearly put into perspective, we will not be able to go ahead. So what all did we learn today as a background for Sadhana Panchakam? One, it is for whom? Is it for everyone, all human beings?
No, it is for only Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishyas.
Very good. And why Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas? Why?
Because they have got a certain eligibility criteria with why they are own living. Jatiya Adharit. In
No.
the system, whichever they are living, that gives them some qualifications for that.
Do you really feel that living that will give a qualification?
Because Upanayana is done and then they are allowed to
Shraddha on the Shrutis.
They have to learn the Vedas. Simply by saying that I am a Brahmana and not knowing anything about the Vedas is useless. So very clearly the Acharya says that it is for those people, if you are calling yourself even a Varna Brahmana, Varna Kshatriya, Varna Vaishya, it is only when you have learnt the Vedas, it is meaningful. First word is going to come that only. Vedo nityam adhiyatam. उधर ही क्लीन बोल्ड होने वाला है. समझ में आ रहा है? वहाँ से शुरू हो रहा है. That means you have to know and you have to learn and you have to chant and you have to uphold the Vedas every day. Nityam. अब मुझे आता ही नहीं तो मैं क्या करूँगा? That means this is not for me. Then at least then what should I do? Okay, what is the sum and substance what Vedas are saying? Am I able to do it? We'll come later. We'll come to it later. So who can do it? Except the Shudras, because Shudras by nature, by culture, are not that cultured like the other three. Very simple. Let me ask, touch your heart. And how many people? You don't give me an answer. Don't give me an answer. I'm not expecting an answer. But think about it. In the house, there are 10 people who are there, who have come as guests or whom you have invited for some program. And out of the 10 people, 3 are bhajis, 4 are elders of the house, 5 are like your own age, your siblings and other people, and then you have घर का काम वाली बाई also. अब खाना खाने के लिए बैठना है. Now you know the question what I am going to ask. Why are we smiling? That means I say something, I act something. Think about it. Think about it. Why do you do it? It is not because you don't do it without a knowledge. You know it with a knowledge, and the knowledge is only one thing. The person is not that hygienic, that clean, that proper to be sitting together. It is like saying that I go into an operation theater with a doctor who is going to perform the operation there. Will I be allowed? Why? That discrimination? No, because I am not eligible. I have not come to a level of a knowledge which that doctor has, and that can be detrimental to the patient. Correct? That's how we have to look at it. Okay, so how much ever we talk lip service that all should be equal, check your mind and don't fool yourself. If you are ready to see that there is difference across which I see it, then graciously accept it. No one says we have to ill-treat anyone. Huh? Like everyone, help everyone. There don't say that he is a Shudra. No. But certain eligibilities, certain things which needs to be as per the general, because you didn't learn the Vedas, correct? Then why, what gave you this thought? Was it taught in your school? No. And from where did this knowledge come that I have to separately feed different people differently? Why? Didn't it come? Didn't that thought come? Don't fool yourself. The thought came. So who brought the thought in? It came naturally. For example, a known person and an unknown person. Forget Shudra and you have a known person, you have an unknown person. Do you feel comfortable for the known person and unknown person sitting together, eat? Take an unknown person into your bedroom, into the puja room and all. Will you be, how can I? Why? So it's so natural in our behavior, right? Does someone teach this? Then why can't we listen to, when we are behaving that way, why can't we accept it that this empirical world have to have that taratamyam? Taratamyam is not ill-treating. Taratamyam is not insulting. As we said, Brahmano osya mukhamasit bahurajanyah kritaha. Are you ill-treating and insulting? No. Each one has a separate job. They are doing that job. Only if they do that job, that is correct. If someone else tries to do that job, it will not be correct. Why? They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the experience, they don't have the expertise, and then the job will suffer. Right? Exactly. You have to use the same system for Varna. Right people at the right job, doing the right things. Even in our organization, we see this. When there is a mismatch of people's quality and liking to what they have been put, you will see it's a disaster. But you put the person into what that person likes, that person will flourish. Not only that person flourishes, the organization benefits. So, as we said, society benefits, maturity within that person of chitta, vishalata, both happen. So, it's a win-win situation. Are we able to get this? Okay, this varna system, as much as I am going to tell, that much it has to be clean, क्योंकि बहुत सालों से गंदगी पड़ा है अंदर, by calling it caste. Even today, and the worst is we get so easily lured by politicians. They have bought in that Valmiki and everything into such a thing. See how slowly it goes. Even today, how much entrenched it is in certain states. Why in certain states? It's entrenched in every one of us. It is entrenched in every one of our house. We only don't want to speak about it. But the point is, we are not saying go and tell 4 people, but you have the correct knowledge, have the correct way, and have the conviction that no, we will, from today the outlook will be like this. Even in Adi Shankara movie, we saw that the person who came to do chori of the nariyal, how he was punished by giving a good lesson. So no one ill-treated anyone. Okay, afterwards things changed a lot, forget that. But at least we have the freedom to look at what is the right way and take it that way. Because when you take those systems in that way, then only you will value the Shastras. Huh? Once you value the Shastra, then only it will help you to go ahead. Without the value to Shastra, it will not work. You will challenge the Shastra. Are we getting it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, with this value to the Shastra, we will stop it today. We will continue next time. And we have seen the Varna system and the Ashrama system. What is a person supposed to do in each Varna very clearly will come as a part of Sadhana Panchakam. Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam, what it is we will see. Karma Swanushthiyatam we will see. What is each of these? Then we will have the right perspective of what it is and take it ahead. Okay? Sure.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, regarding jati based, jati adharit word व्यवस्था, I have one doubt. Jati adharit means janma adharit नहीं है ना sir?
Jati means Janma.
Jati adharit.
Jati is
means
another, 1 minute. Jati is another meaning for species.
Yes.
Species is Jati. He is a human Jati, he is an animal Jati, species. Within human. Huh?
So this meaning has to be taken here as the species, not the janma.
It is 100% Janma. Where do you get the Jati from?
अच्छा, so when we say जाति आधारित means जो जिस
जन्म।
जाति में पैदा हुआ है वही।
Correct. You are born in that particular Janma. What does that mean? I am
Yes.
exposed to that culture. If I am born, now the problem is we look at it from today's perspective.
Yeah.
Take yourself to 1000 years back and say that if I am born in a Brahmin house, right from childhood, I see everything happening in a Brahmin's house the way it should be there as per the Shastra. So I am slowly tuned to it. The system, the setup itself teaches me. Separately, we don't have to teach. Like for example, now the Bhadji will have to come, take 1 glass of water, put 1 spoon into it, take 1 sip of water, with the left hand take it, pour 1 drop onto your right hand and then say Keshavaya Namaha, then slowly lift the right hand and pour it gently into your mouth. Do you have to teach like this to a child who is born in a Brahmin's house? Just say Achamanam, he knows what to do. Do you understand?
He is acquainted with that.
Exactly. By that he has also seen the ups and downs of that life. So he has got practical experience of that particular way of life. So he is less exposed, emotionally troubled, because he can expect which are good and which are bad both. Right? You go to any army or any of these people, Kshatriya's house, especially when they go to a war, how much of stress is there at home? Correct? Anytime anything
Yeah.
can come. So once you are in that type of a nature, okay, हाँ ठीक है, 50 साल से अलग अलग बैटल में जा रहे आ रहे, ठीक है, अब ये एक बार गए तो गए, क्या कर सकते. So you get used to it. You are mentally prepared for it. So jati based is helping you to mentally mature out and not get stuck into it. Guna based is the best, but if you can't, then jati based. The last and the worst is karma based, which is there today. A person doing a karma, you make that person sit wherever required. I normally give this example, nothing to be intended to anyone personally, making an OBC sit at some top, because from his cultural background he is not used to it. He has not seen such a freedom. And you make the person in charge of something, suddenly a freedom will come, it will be misused. Think. So
Right.
what needs to be done to them is they need to be given knowledge, they need to be given education, but not equal opportunity. Give them equal opportunity like others, but no reservations.
First, they should be prepared to take up that.
That is individual, na? So give them the opportunity, teach them how to fish. Do not get fish and give them.
Fully agree, sir.
Correct? So this is how in our system we have misused it. Now don't look at that system and say that Varna Ashrama system was wrong. We have manipulated it, we have changed it with time. And if you look at it from a pure perspective, it is perfectly fit, and that perspective is considered for Atma Jnanam. If you look at it from that perspective, because for us we don't have to look at what the world is. Here the whole objective is sadhana is for Atma Jnanam, not to change the world. If you want to change the world, then not this class is not the right one. Right? If you want to set up the ashram system properly, then this is not the class. This is to leave the outside world and come inward, but for which I need to use the knowledge of that, for which understand the knowledge in a proper way and take it in. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Chalo. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So people who are going to attend heap function as well as the evening Vedanta, you will get repetition of the same thing. Nothing new is going to come. Okay, you have to understand it, because I am not going to create something new. This basis are required for all the people of Vedanta. So that is why you repeat it and then start the Tattva Bodha or something. It becomes easy. What is Varna? What is Ashrama? What are Vedas? What are Vedangas? What is Karma? The Karma cycle. Once these basics are understood, then 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo guna. Because with these things, these are new concepts. These are not there in Tattva Bodha. Tattva Bodha assumes that you know all this. Then Papa, Punya. Once these concepts are clear, then it's easy to get into Tattva Bodha. That is why I'm taking all this, even for children who are attending. For the children, this also I'm taking, because these are basic things which they need to know. Then they will have a right outlook in life. Okay? Chalo. Let's stop it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.